Hey everybody, doing a 2-month update, a little late. We started this journey on the 13th of August, so every 13th try to give an update. In some ways the second month felt like it wasn't productive, but that's really not true. It was just that we weren't out physically on the street as much as we would have liked to have been. We started the month off with being in Paris, Texas, as Susan's father had open heart surgery. And there really wasn't a lot going on in Paris. We did look around the streets. Really the main focus was for Susan to be with her family. I spent most of the time in the hotel room just due to some family dynamics of our orientation, and just being in the South and with her family was a little different. And really I couldn't go in the hospital anyways to the ICUs. There's only 2 people allowed in there, so I pretty much just spent most of the time in the hotel room trying to kind of start working on a website for a church, and yet I felt kind of unproductive, and I didn't like that. I was really itching to get out on the street. I did drive around Paris, Texas a little bit, and I just didn't feel led. I mean, even the parks I found, there wasn't a single person in them, so I just didn't feel like there was a whole lot to do. We did get to meet Larry, a Facebook buddy, a supporter, and so that was great to make some face-to-face connections, and really enjoyed that. From there we went to Oklahoma. We thought we were going to be there a day while we prayed and waited on what we were going to do, and it turned out there was some family dynamics, some things going on with the other end of Susan's family with her niece and cousin, and so they asked us to come stay in their house, which was empty at the time due to these family dynamics, and we ended up staying about 7 days. They actually wanted us to stay longer, but we really felt it was time to move on. But so again, it wasn't really out on the street ministry, but it was bringing some wisdom and some prayer and just some stability to the family and what was going on in the dynamics there. So again, God was using us, just not in the way that we maybe had purposed, but again, we said, God, you can use us any way you want. So I'm kind of learning personally that I need to let go of whatever my pre-existing expectations are of what this journey looks like. From there we went to Tennessee, to Knoxville, to help with Pastor Pam Wright's church with moving out of one building that they had just moved into a new building, and that was just a lot of work, and it was really great. God's just been knitting our hearts together with really both churches in Tennessee, Pastor Pam Hefner's church at Living Faith Fellowship, and Pastor Pam Wright at God's Remnant Ministry, or I think they're renaming to the Remnant. And just love both of those churches, and just really feel at home in the state of Tennessee. Just really blessed. God continues to show himself faithful when things look a little scary. Definitely challenges financially, but I don't even know if I would call them challenges, because God keeps meeting them. So we're learning a lot. We're getting blessed. It feels like more than we're blessing, for sure, but we keep being told we're a blessing. But yet you can't outbless God, and you can't outgive God, and you can't outserve God, and you can't outlove him either. So everything we give, we keep getting poured back to us, and it just makes you cry. I mean, it's just, if you think about it, it's really overwhelming in a good way of what God is doing. So we were with God Remnant Ministry for a couple weeks. And then about 2.5 weeks actually, and then we did a little bit of ministry out on the streets there, not a whole lot, because our focus was more like laying sheetrock and painting walls and things like that. And we got to do some ministry there with the people, and some prophetic ministry, and so it was really great. And then we came to Atlanta in time for the end of September for the Atlanta, not end of September, excuse me, sometime first weekend in October or something for Pride. Yeah, when you're on the road, I can't even remember my days or my months. I mean, I know it sounds really kind of cliche-ish and stuff, but I seriously don't know half the time what day it is. I know if I go out to my car right now, I can tell you what time it is in Washington State, because I keep my car on Pacific Standard Time just so I know when to call my folks. I do know I'm on the East Coast right now and will be for a while, so at least I know the time difference, and I happen to know today's Monday, but if I'm trying to reach back into my memory banks, I just can't even get, I'm just getting dates and everything's confused because everything is just moving along, and it's hard to keep track. So at some point I was in Atlanta for Atlanta Pride and did twofold, as tourists, just walked around, and then also Susan and I hooked up with Elijah from New Covenant Church in Atlanta, and the three of us walked around looking for people to bless and prophesy over, and that was really powerful and really good, and we definitely want to do more of that. I was really tired though the whole weekend. I mean, just I think from all the physical stuff, and we've had a warfare kind of surrounding getting up here to Virginia, and since we've been here in Virginia, we've had some warfare, and we really had a pretty, I don't know, an easy go of it the last couple months, but something about getting up here, obviously stepping on somebody's toes, and that's a good thing. So we just appreciate your prayers so that especially that our street ministry would be effective, that we'd have, open doors. We've been really praying specifically into that the last day, just as we realized the need for more warfare prayer, more breakthrough prayer, more prayer walking, probably more just preparing the area. The other places seemed much easier to minister in, which DC is like, it's a whole different, it's really a whole different ball game. We're safe, we're, all of that, we're totally protected, we're safe. It's not that, it's just about the accessibility to the people, the sense of, you get that sense from them that they don't want you to look at you, much less talk to you. So just pray for us for that. So, the month went by really, really fast. We were in Tennessee 2.5 of those weeks, and Oklahoma, and then a little bit in Georgia. And here we are. I guess I could measure my month by, what state I was in. But I'm just learning to trust God. We both are. We're learning to communicate better. We're learning that sometimes inactivity is okay. I'm probably the one having to learn that more, because I'm just like, hey God, I've given you my year, I'm on this faith journey, use me 24/7, and the thing is, my body doesn't want to go 24/7, even if my heart or my mind does. So I'm learning just to sit back and rest, and we'll be up here. So our 3-month update will come from up here, and hopefully I'll get it out on time, because we'll be here through Thanksgiving at this point. So anyways, God bless everybody. For those of you who haven't met yet, I hope as I get into your state that we'll be able to meet up. And please do feel free to contact us. And if you've got something going on in your city, or you want us to come out and hit the streets with you, we would love to do that, or to encourage you to do that. And just be naturally supernatural and just touch people with love today. So God bless you, and hope you have a good evening.